In the prophetic office, it's good to admire prophets. It's good to love prophets. It's good to admire the gifting and then the different giftings of prophet. But sir, if you make them your example, you will be disappointed. No prophet on earth should be your example. So the problem is not the prophets. The problem is you, because you have made a wrong person your example. That's why you are disappointed when things happen. If you make me your example and I mess up, you will be disappointed. You will fall away. You even stop going to church because you have made Prophet David your example. I am not an author. I'm not the finisher of your faith. So someone will call me and say, Prof, I'm so much disappointed. Me, I don't even feel like going to church. How can you say it? So you and the one who had the issue, who is now the problem? Because throughout scripture, there's nowhere in the Bible that Lord said you must make another person your example. Jesus is our perfect example in the prophetic office. He's the best example. Moses was a great prophet. Elijah was one of the greatest prophets we have encountered. The man performed miracles. Moses performed miracles never performed by anybody. But God overlooked them and said, it's not just in the miracles, but I'm so much interested in somebody that resembles my character. And as a matter of fact, I'm interested in somebody who can represent me so well. And the only person that represents me so well, so perfect, is Jesus. The Bible said they saw no man save Jesus. Stop making prophets your example. It's good to admire me. It's good to say, okay, I want you to mentor me. But look, I am not the finisher and the author of your faith. I shouldn't be your perfect example. The men you people are following, know that they are men. Lower your expectation when it comes to morality when you are following men. Like I said, I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm not also here to speak against anybody. I'm here to defend the prophetic office. Sir, lower your expectation on men of God and increase your expectation when it comes to Christ. He's your perfect example. Stop saying I'm disappointed. I don't feel like going to church because of this issue. I just had this issue and because of that, I'm disappointed in the prophetic. How can you be disappointed in a sacred office? Sir, no matter what happened, the office remains sacred. No matter who did what, the office remains sacred. A popular man should not be your example, should not be your model. Jesus is the only model in our life and in ministry. The perfect model. I want to repeat that. Jesus is the perfect model, the perfect example in our life and ministry. So lower your expectation. Bring your expectation down. Look, today it may be Prophet Joe. Tomorrow it will be Prophet Mike. Tomorrow next it will be Prophet Angela. These things will continue as long as the earth remains. These things will continue because the men that is carrying the oil, they are first men. Look up to Jesus. Jesus will be your perfect example. It's funny why people and how people behave and the way they are and all that. Forget about the prophet who did what and who didn't do what. Jesus will be your benchmark. These people who follow prophets and make prophets their example will continue to be disappointed every day. You will continue. Some of you even stay away from churches because of the behavior of that prophet. You will stay away from church. Look, the fact that a man is gifted, popular and rich does not make him an example. He's not a standard. He's not a model. Let's not confuse popularity to standards. I'm telling you the truth. If you know some of the things popular people do, you will be afraid. But we are living in a generation that have made popular people their standard, and unpopular people, they don't want to associate with them. So some people, their seed to a popular person is even different from their seed to the person who is not popular, because the popular person has become what? Standard. That is an error. That is dangerous. That is risky. Never follow a prophet till he become your standard. I admire many people. They are gifted in some areas. I'm not gifted in that area. But look, people can be your mentor. They can mentor you. I was praying for one guy. He came to me for impartation. When I was going to lay hands on him, I lay my hands on him and I said, Lord, give him only my strength. That's impartation. And after that, he said, hey, Papa, you were praying a prayer. I said, look, we must understand that the men we are following are men. Don't make them your standard. If not, very soon you will stop going to church. Many of you have stopped. Do you know why? Some people say, hey, because of what pastor do, me, I no longer go to church. That is because you have made them your standard. So the pastor is not the problem. You are actually the problem. The prophet is not the problem. You are the problem. Don't go to church with that your brains, carrying it along. There are some of the things pastors you do, you know it's not right. Me, it is my principle. The fact that I follow you doesn't mean that whatever you do is what I will do. No, I know what you have done is right and what you have done is not right. If you stop going to church, I want you to resume. Why will you stop going to church? Because of a behavior of another man? Or maybe you got disappointed because you heard the news, which probably probably you've not verified. Even if it is true, the person is not your standard. If Jesus did some of the things the pastors are doing, me, I'll be the first person to stop going to church. But watch it. The Bible said he was blameless. The track record is clean. Why? He's the author, he's the finisher, he's the standard, he's the model, he's the example. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Take your eyes off people who are gifted. Take your eyes off people who are popular. Take your eyes off people who are charismatic. Take your eyes off people who are rich in the ministry. They should not be your example. Why are you crying? Because this person have done this. I say, you see, you are sinning. Why? You have believed that man to understand. You believe that he cannot sin. Seeing that he's not the standard. Why must you stop going to church because of that? If there is a need, you said, okay, I can't go there because of so and so. Change a church. Just make sure your faith is in touch. Don't change faith. Change the church. It's simple. Thank God for Prophet Elisha. Thank God for Prophet Elijah. Thank God for Prophet Samuel. Thank God for Prophet Daniel. Thank God for Prophet Isaiah. Thank God for Prophet Ezekiel. Thank God for Prophet Habakkuk. Thank God for Prophet David. Thank God for all these prophets. But sir, none of them should be a standard. There's normally saying that if you want to know how foolish a prophet is, ask the wife. And this is also to my colleague prophets. Let the people know you are not a standard. Let them know you are not an example. They may copy some of your strength. And I understand some of these people who normally give up and they no longer go to church is because they were not grown. They were not mature in the first place. Me like this, even if you are poor and I heard you did something, Sunday I'll be in church praying and prophesying. Let's not let this thing stop us. I remember I was speaking with a friend of mine. I told her, I said, I don't care. You know, he said they said so. I said, me, I don't care whether you did it or not. Me, I don't care. Not like I'm not so much concerned about purity and holiness, but I'm not disappointed. Why? I was having no expectation. So me, I don't care to investigate to be sure. There was no expectation in the first place. Thank God you are gifted. God has graced you. We thank God for that. They said you have killed somebody and you have ate the body. Look, I am not surprised. Why? There was no expectation. If they say Jesus did it, I will weep. But if I'm lying there and they say, hey, have you heard so and so, I will laugh and eat. There's no expectation. These are men. I'm saying that because I am a gifted person. I don't need somebody to tell me. I am gifted. I have my challenges. Our challenges may differ. But the issue is that we try all that we can to make sure that we overcome our challenges. They don't overcome us. Everybody has a feeling. It's how we react to the feelings that matter. A strong man of God is a man of who have decided not to marry. Any man of God who have 2 children, 3 children, 5 children, it doesn't mean you are strong. You are just held by God. Because if you are really unbreakable, then there was no need marry. So anyone who marry have admitted and agreed that I am weak, but I need one woman. Probably God will help me. That is why I'm very careful judging people when they fall into particular type of sin. We are all helped by God. You must understand that your eyes should be taken off these people. Take off your eyes from your pastor. To understand, some people are praying in the name of their pastors. One guy came and said, he entered an exam and blah blah blah, and he said the God of Prophet David. After that, I took the microphone and I said, look, we are giving one name to pray under, and that name is the name of what? Jesus. Never pray in my name. Pray in the name of Jesus, because the time you were praying in my name, maybe at that time I'm also looking for help from God. Don't pray in my name because you saw that Prophet David is gifted. Prophet David is gifted, he can prophesy. No, sir, be careful. So the best thing is what? Let's just look up to Jesus. This year, don't get disappointed by any news. You will hear more news. It's not going to stop. You will hear more things. You will hear about prophets. You will hear about men of God. You hear about prominent pastors and all that. Don't get disappointed. Admire them, respect them, honor them, but they are not standards and they are never perfect examples. I have fathers in my life. My spiritual father is one, and I have other people who I admire and submit my ministry to, and I learn from them. But I can boldly say it on this line. They are never my perfect example. Not because they are not good, but they are men. And even they won't even agree to become a standard, because the Bible says Jesus is the standard. So Paul said, follow me as I follow who? Christ. So I follow them as long as they follow who? Christ. The day I realized the one I'm following have stopped following Christ, I'll stop following him, because the reason why I'm following you is because you are following Christ. If I look ahead of you and there's no Christ, there's no need following you. So some of you add wisdom to your hairs. Look in front and see the one I'm following. Is he following Christ? If there's no Christ in front of him, abort. Stop following. It's that simple. It's not a sin. We follow people because they follow the one we want to follow. So we follow them because we assume they know the rule. What if at the end of the day you wake up and realize that he don't know the rule? All this while you've made a mistake. Change! And with that, apologize. I've said this and I'll say it again. I'm not the type that changes fathers. Because as long as my spiritual father follow Christ, I'll follow him. God forbid, there's no day he will stop following him. There's no day. He's a good man. Follow men that follow what? Christ. Stop following men you realize that you can't find Christ in front of them. It's that simple. And I've said it here, I'll say it again. Some of you pastors are here. I've said it, I'll say it again. If any day you sleep and wake up and realize that in front of me there's no Christ, run. I may not be perfect, but as long as I continue to follow Christ, you know I'm following Christ. So that's it. But any day you realize that Christ cannot be seen, run. I don't know why it's a big deal. People will stay there. They have seen the signs. They've seen everything. But they will stay there when there is now problems. They are now saying, me, I'm disappointed. I won't go to church again. I will never go to church. What are you talking about? I won't go to church again. Why? I heard about this and I'm so much disappointed. Papa, I'm broken. Why are you broken? Have you heard this story? Pick up your pieces and move on. Move on, man of God. Thank God for the prophets. Thank God for the modern day prophets prophesying things and they are happening. Notwithstanding, they are never standard. Thank God for everybody's life. Notwithstanding, they are never a perfect example. I am not a standard. I can never be a standard. If I am your standard, you are in problems because I have a lot of challenges. If I'm your standard, I will mess you up. Thank God I am not a standard. Thank God I'm following somebody. So I keep following. And every day my challenges I have, they are being dropped and they keep dropping until I look like him. So as you are following, I'm following. So that is why every day you see changes in your pastor. It is a sign that there is a transformation. There is metamorphosis. There is a change. There is a movement from one place to another place. That is it. So as you see your pastor growing, you keep following. My pastor is growing. I've said this before. If you realize that the one you are following is not growing, stop following him. It's not a crime. Because as far as the one you are following is not growing, you too, you will not grow. But you see, we have instituted this thing called loyalty and disloyalty. Even if that person is not growing, you should stay there. So no, it's not disloyalty. I just want to grow. If I was not with my father in the Lord now, I wouldn't be where I am. Because the more he grew, I grow. He stopped growing, I stopped growing. That is why we have other mentors so that they can impact in you what they have. That is how it's supposed to be. That's why Paul said you can have one father but several mentors. A young prophet, stop fooling. Because sometimes we will come and say these things and people will now use it as a benchmark to do something. Stop fooling. Because some of the steps you are going to take, you should just know that it's going to break a lot. There are some sins you will commit. You are not the only one committing it. It is the whole congregation committing it. So do as much as you can. Stay away from some things. It is that simple. Have you met people who say, I don't care what the public say? You are a pastor, a prophet, and you don't care what the public say. Money don't care what public people say about you. Money will still come to you because it's money. Even a businessman needs integrity. Not to talk of a pastor. So don't be using words like I don't care what they say about me. Really, you are dealing with people. Anybody dealing with people must care what they say. That's why politicians even do everything to stay clean. We must care what happens outside there. It's not only power that get people born again. No. For them to even come and see the power, someone must recommend. Many people have been recommended to me. Not because of power. No. There were some other factors that influenced the recommendation. Please, you can't be a person and say, I don't care. You must care. That is it. So young man, you must be concerned what the public will say. Because your ministry, you are called to people, not money. If you are dealing with money, it will come no matter what. But when it comes to this ministry thing, sir, you must care what the public say about you. So young man, as much as you can, add efforts, add strength, do well, do well. You may not get it right in every area, but do your best and the Lord will help us. Hallelujah. Amen.